All right. So yeah, so we'll be going over the homework, and we are up to the part, and we're looking pretty good here. You guys do an amazing job here. So far, you each have your own web pages and your own roster pages here and there, and you guys have the edit pages for each as well. And let's see, I think I'm slow today. What's up with this? Yeah, you guys each have your roster pages and your edit pages and all that good stuff here. There you go. This is dance page. Very nice. You got three out of three fist bumps. You got the nice edit there. Um, got character on the same page. Add character. Delete. Very nice. Let's see. This is Dave's here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it was the buffer had gone away, so it was slow, but now it's fast. Yeah, yeah. Dave got this. Not too bad. Not too bad. Remember, guys. Yeah. So whenever you get stuck in anything, just don't forget. Reach out to me, and we will help out. It is all good. But this is looking good, though. This is looking very good. The whole point we did this was so you guys understand how we're have a model and how we're trying to use models and how we're trying to map to models and how models make it easier. And can I trust you guys, to understand that we are passing a model to this page and then we're doing things with this model and mapping things and getting information from this model in this edit page? Is that somewhat uh, doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
All right, and the raster page here. The raster page takes a model here, and we're not necessarily updating this model. We're using it to display and using information from the model to create a page, a raster page here. Okay, and and you guys, of course, forgot, which everybody forgets at the same, at the beginning, is remember pass all the fields that you need, even if you need them as to hide them. And don't forget the name property. If you don't pass the name property, because this is the property that gets mapped to the object in, let's see, where is it? In the controller action. That is what is expecting uh, to get mapped in there. Okay. And you guys will never forget that again, right? Of course. You guys are pros, right? Right, right. Okay, good,
Make
good,
no
good.
promises.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, no, but this is good. You guys are coming. You guys are getting there. You guys are getting there. Okay. So this is good. So the next thing that we started talking about was JavaScript and how we interact with what is it used for and how we can use it to interact and manipulate web pages or the DOM. So remember, from now on, whenever we say the DOM, we use the word DOM, we mean web page or kind of document object model, pretty much. All right. So JavaScript can be used for two main things. One, what is one, guys? Go ahead, tell me. What is it?
To manipulate the HTML.
That's right. So, Dave, give me an example of manipulating HTML on this page somewhere. Go ahead.
Uh, let's see. Manipulating HTML.
Yeah.
Okay, yo. Editing a character. I mean, press the button. Submit
All
edit
right.
button.
Well, yes, but that is sort of server related. When you hit this, you send all this stuff to the server. Now, I want to do just, let's say, I don't want to go back to the server. I just want to do stuff in this page here through JavaScript. What are some of the things that I can do?
The drop downs.
Well, the drop downs is just HTML. For JavaScript, I can change the value of the drop downs. I could update them through JavaScript. Yes. Or through JavaScript, I can change the value of this here. This text box here. Remember, I'm talking about just on the front end, on the browser. Has nothing to do with the server yet. Okay. So, let's see. Dan, do you have any kind of any examples?
Of what we can do with JavaScript?
Yep, just give me one quick example.
I mean, you mentioned hiding the page, but
Well,
I'm
yeah,
kind of beside that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, JavaScript. Remember, we can manipulate elements or the web page in any way we want. We can hide sections, show sections, copy sections, add sections, change the value of inputs. We can even make it click buttons for us if we wanted to. Or we could have it do a pop-up whenever we choose the word Druid. So it's something that is very important, and what we're gonna go over a little bit right now because it's kind of important in what it is and how we can use it. Okay, that is one of the mains, or usually the main use for JavaScript. It is to manipulate web pages and web page elements in any way we want. The second one is called Ajax. Okay, so from now on, I don't want you to get too hung up on this, but all Ajax is you make a call to the server and get information and then get it back. And it's up to you with what you want to do with that information. Okay, so let me ask you a question, and I'm going to make it really easy, hopefully. Okay, so now, when I hit this action here, when I hit the About action or the Roster action, tell me what happens. Dave, what happens?
When you hit that roster action, it should get you to the roster view page.
Yes, so I am going back to the server, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going back to the server and getting pretty much the whole page, all the information for all the page, all this information, and loading it onto this page here. And that is cool. That's pretty nice, and that is the way that HTTP and HTML works and stuff. That's how it is. Okay, so Ajax does that. It goes back to the server and gets information, but instead, you have a bit more control over it. Okay, so let's say in the back end, you have this list, a list of all these dudes here, all the classes, right? And let's say you have an action that instead of returning this whole view, it returns all these names here. That's all it returns. So let's say that I have an Ajax call that says, hey, go back to the server, and instead of getting all of the web pages, all of the web page, hey, just get these names over here, these 8 names. And then it's up to you what you do with those 8 names. You could display them on the web page or not. It's really up to you to what you decide to do. But again, do not get hung up on just what I want you to get hung up is Ajax is JavaScript and Ajax are used to get information from a server somewhere. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so simple. But don't try to overthink it or just leave it there. We will get to it later on. Yeah. So here we go. And we're here. Okay, this is good here. So let's hang out with JavaScript for a bit, because we hung out with JavaScript a while ago, but I think we we forgot about it. We abandoned JavaScript, and we had not paid attention to it in a while. And you know what? JavaScript don't like that. JavaScript, it's like, hey guys, I thought you guys loved me. You'll see, I'll make you pay because we need JavaScript. JavaScript is probably some of the most important things that we need to know about when dealing with HTML, along with pretty much anything in the internet. My friend, oh, I don't know if I told you. Yeah, my friend, she got accepted to one of those code camps, which is pretty sweet. And they guess what they do? They do in that code camp. They can do full stack. Boy, they do full stack using 100% Java. Well, yeah, pretty much all JavaScript. Are you with it?
All JavaScript.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty much. Well, because JavaScript has a lot of frameworks, very powerful frameworks, which, by the way, we will be using some of those frameworks as well. So a lot of that stuff kind of overlaps, but it's very powerful. A lot of the frameworks that we will be using are going to be JavaScript frameworks, and there's a lot of it's pretty powerful. I mean, it depends. I mean, it all does the same thing, but just in a different way. All right. Let's see. All right. So let me get back here. Blip. Okay, so we got the JavaScript here. Get information from the server. All right. So, how do we feel about models and passing models? And is a model a class most of the time? Well, yes, right? And I know we're using this class here, but remember that what else can classes have? Right now we have a class here, but all we're using right now is classes that have properties. But what else have we done in the past? Have done with classes, which we'll go back to soon. Remember, classes have properties which kind of define to give you more information about the class itself. And what else can they have? You guys remember?
Methods.
That's right. Yes. Yes. You don't forget that, guys. Remember. So methods, which are the actions, functions that a class can do, and the properties, that is information that is contained within the class. So don't forget. I always have to always go back to that because we're going to be doing classes and we're going to be doing them hard. Okay. But right now, I think it's best to kind of get back and introduce JavaScript in a way that we can understand it a bit better, I think. Okay. So now, let's go back here and let's see. What is the best place to do this? Actually, I think here. Here is fine. All right. Dave ID character. Actually, and dance is fine as well. All right. I mean, I already explained things here, so might as well just leave it here. All right. So, remember when we started this whole conversation, my question to you is, my question was, these are tied, or are kind of, they're smart enough to know, these helpers are smart enough to know to map whatever value we have to class. So that's why when you go in here, they're automatically set up for you. Okay. What if I wanted to use, well, what if we were using just this here? let's see. Then how would do you think that the value of the dropdown could be set? In fact, let me just mess
Can
around with
we,
this.
when we do the select, can we add an ID and values, or should we put that in the option? Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I mean it should always be sort of like that.
Convention.
Well, the value should be an ID. The value should be an ID of whatever you're messing with. But no, I mean name works at least for now anyway. But for now, let me just again. This is kind of an introduction here, and let me. I'm just gonna see what is the best way about it. But for now, okay, this is your web page here, Dan, right? Sweet. So I'm just gonna use part of your web page if you don't mind to mess around here.
All good.
Oh, you even have Belit logos. Nice. I like that. It has the same name as this guy here. Very nice. Okay, so let's see. Get input here. Belit. Okay, nice. So I'm just gonna be messing around here. You have another HTML over here somewhere. All right. All right.
The bottom of the pages, there's some HTML elements,
Okay, that's cool.
just to define the background.
That is cool. All right, so I'm just gonna create some kind of div. Have you guys messed around with div at all?
No, I've been reading up on it, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you just use a div," and other people are like, "Never use a div."
Always use a div. Divs are awesome. Yeah, exactly. Well, divs. You see, this is good. I like where we are right now because this is great. First of all, what is it? What's a div to you guys? Do you guys know what? You ever heard of the word div? What is it?
See it all the time, anytime you look at a web page, pretty much.
Oh yeah. Well, let's go and see what they are. This is great.
That's
This is beautiful.
that's CSS, right?
No, it's not.
No, that's regular HTML.
Yeah, it's HTML. Yeah. All right. This is good. Dave, how about you? You got anything? See what's up
It
with
looks
div?
like some sort of dividing.
Exactly. Yeah. All a div is, well, a better word is a container.
It's a container.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. So this is great. This is great. So divs. Well, JavaScript. I'm gonna put divs here, I guess. Let's see. Yeah. So a div. All a div is a container. That's all it is. Gives you a handle for parts of your page, right? Okay, so that is very important, and divs are extremely important. They're used everywhere, and what divs are, this is just a container for parts of your page. Okay, the reason they're very important is that you can manipulate them kind of easily, and they're easy to interact with. The reason I say that is up to now, what have you been using to mess around? Well, let me give you an example here. So to arrange classes, not classes, to arrange lists. Like for example, we say the roster, but what do you use to display this roster here? What
Oh,
what
the list
construct?
from the database.
Yeah, but what construct do you use to display it?
table.
That's right. Yes. Let's see. It's a container. Yeah, container. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, we use table. Display info. Like a table. Okay, so yeah, so we use a table, and tables are extremely useful and extremely easy. And personally, in the business world, it's okay to use tables. We use tables all the time. It is all good. And really, you should use tables. But you cannot always use tables to set up your page or divide your page in certain logical ways, or just doesn't work. Because there's a lot of things that you know that is hard to do with tables. What if you wanted to just hide certain rows, or just do certain things with certain rows or certain sections, or it can get crazy. It can be done, but it's not that easy. Okay. And
Tables basically serve a specific purpose.
yes, yeah. I was just gonna say that. I swear,
Ooh.
I said that. I was just gonna say that. I'm glad I thought of it too before you said it. That's right. But yeah, dude. Exactly, man. I'm glad you said it. For this specific purpose of showing things like this, tables are amazing. But for other things, not so much. Like showing certain sections of pages, and also, I want you to know that they're not mutually exclusive. They're different things. It's just that people tend to say like, "Oh, I'm going to display this information on a table," or "I'm going to display this information with using divs." No, you could use both. Why not both? Or they're not mutually exclusive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish I would have thought of that and said it. God damn it! But I was about to though. I was about to. But yeah, so that's so they're kind of similar. That you use one for one thing, the other one for another. So what divs are used for is to um, set up parts of pages. So set up different areas of pages that you can then manipulate and and do things with pretty much. And I'm going to give you really some really good examples in a bit, but I'll try to take it slow here. So let's see. I just set up a div here, right here, and actually instead let's just go here as well. There's a form here, post, and table. And this is good right here. So most of the pages that you are gonna be messing around with, by the way, where does this go here? All right, that's for each. All right, hold on. I just want to make sure that I don't. Most of the pages that you will be interacted with, or that you have interacted with, they're divided by divs. So, for example, when you create or you setting up the layout of a page, yeah, let's throw that word out there. Yeah, to set up layout of pages. Yeah. So they're used to set up the layout of your page, kind of like the general layout of your page. Well, let me give you an idea here. I'm going to go to the application name here. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. Before I do F12, tell me, at least how many sections do you see here? How do you think this page is divided? Dave, give me a section.
Home?
Well, yeah, home is a section. Yeah, no, but I mean this particular page, without going anywhere, this page that we're looking at, yeah. Like, what are different sections here? Give me a section.
For section, let's see. Getting started, learn more.
Okay, that is a section. Yeah, sure. It's here. All right. Dan, can you give me a
that section?
Was it?
What section did he describe?
Well, this one here, this part here, kind of. Yeah, it's a small
Okay.
section, but yeah, I mean it's allowed, I guess. Yeah. Do you have any other ideas?
We have the whole the navigating bar over
Yeah,
the top.
exactly. Yeah. So that is definitely one section. And yeah, so I'm gonna F12 and see what kind of sections we have here. Remember that these are kind of areas and sections that can be independent of each other. So I'm just gonna here. So I'm gonna look at this here. Oh, look at that! It's an actual div. You see it? So
Yeah.
so remember this whole HTML here. This is the whole HTML. You see it starts up here and it ends down here. So within this HTML, within the body, we have a div. The first div is the nav bar. Do you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay. So, oh, what's after that? What is after that? Do you guys see anything after that? Is it another div? Look at that. So the first div is a nav bar, and the second div is the kind of the actual content, the container for all this stuff. And inside the big container is what? More divs.
Jumbotron.
Yeah, look at that. This is a Jumbotron. This is another div. And Dave was, you see, was actually correct because this part is another div too. Look at that. And the section next to it, this is a row. So sort of, do you guys see how this is being laid out? Where it's sort of like a table, but it isn't. It's just a way of to sort information and display it, and set up the layout of your page, pretty much. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick search on HTML simple div layout. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look. Remember, where do we go to? Boom, HTML divs. I mean, W3 schools. That's the go-to. That's whenever we're not sure, we go there and we check it out, right? So
They're awesome.
they're pretty amazing. They're pretty amazing. So look at that. This is an HTML layout here. Look at that. You got cities. You got another. You got also remember how. Notice that. Do you see how each div has its own kind of styling and different content? Are you with me? Yes. Yeah. You see how it is. Look at that. So let's see. Look at that. So you got a header. You got a nav. You got a section. So this is kind of different technique. Well, let's see if they have it here. All right, this is just HTML here. Blah 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 blah. H2. They're actually using a different way of doing it, but don't worry about that. I should have gone for the HTML. Where's the div? Damn it! Hold on. You guys see div anywhere around here? Let me just do a div search.
Some of their stuff is difficult to navigate. Like the main things are all there, but sometimes you have to go click inside to
Yeah.
get to the categories.
No, yeah, because they belong on. They're a lot of things that we're looking for are subcategories of something else. They're not like main categories. Like a div is just an HTML tag. But no, yeah, I hear you. Yeah. So again, you do kind of like blocks and stuff and all these things here to try yourself. And well, so let's go back to the layout though. I was digging that right here. So these are kind of different parts of a web page, and we can do that, and we use them and separate them by using divs. All right. Are you guys good so far? Yes. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Basic. Let me see if I see any basic. div structure, I guess. I don't know. Oh, I should have gone for the images. Look at that. Oh, nice, nice. Look at this. Oh, look at that. You see, this is how a web page is divided sometimes, right? You see, you have the header, and then you have a div that is kind of the whole left. You got a middle div, and then you got the right one. And that's kind of like your whole sort of page here. And that's kind of the layout. This is a different layout here, right? But let me ask you a question. Oh, this is a header, a nav. Yeah. But this is getting more into designing HTML and whatnot. But what I want you to go away with here is that these are divs and that's what they're used for. Now, I want you to do me a favor and imagine I'm on a web page here, and what if I don't want to affect anything in the page except the middle? Well, this is why divs are so important, right? Because they have names and you can address them and you could do things with them. So remember when you says the header here, or you have some kind of navigation page somewhere here? This is the easiest one here. You have the header and you have a navigation page. So let me ask you a question. So in most pages that you have a navigation page saying, okay, like page 1, page 2, page 3, or character names or something, right? So when you click on it here, where does that information usually load?
On the main.
Yeah, on here, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And nothing else sometimes, depending on what web page or what kind of information you're using, nothing else is loading, or nothing else, you're not interacting with anything else except for this part here. So I'm about to blow your mind here. It gave you and hurt you in a way.
You remember frames?
It is kind of frames, yes, in a way, but a lot better.
Yeah.
Yes. So these are frames. Sometimes people call them iframes in a way, but they're totally different. Yeah, so we're here, and let's say that I had some kind of technology. I'm going to make up a name and call it Ajax. Right? I had some kind of technology that I whenever I press a button here, I went back to the server and just let's say I had character names here, right? Like Billy Bob, Conan, or whatever. And whenever I clicked on one of them, I used Ajax to go back to the server to get information just on that character. And when I got that information back, and when I got it, I loaded all that information on this main page here. I mean, does that sound like something that would happen, that happens all the time, or that have you seen at least? You have seen it, right? Yes.
I'm absolutely sure I have. I can't think of it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. Yes. So yeah, so that is and let's say that this div, the middle div, right? Like when I click on something here, and the middle div was called middle. So when I got all this information, and I got it back from the server, where would I put that information that I got from the server? What handle would I use to put it in?
Middle div?
Yeah, pretty much, right? It's like the handle, yeah. This means div equals middle, the ID equals middle, so you can handle it and then you can do things with it. Yeah, which is pretty good. Yeah, so you would do middle div and just dump all your HTML or whatever or tags in there, and that's what it would display. Okay, I know we're kind of jumping from one to the other, but hang in there. You guys haven't forgotten about models and stuff, right? Because I'm gonna keep hitting you with it.
What's a model?
Yeah.
They're on the covers, right?
Yeah, they're hot. It's like right here. And but yeah, so don't forget about the models. Don't forget about all the good stuff and forms. Yeah. So now that we have divs, I'm going to create this div here, and I'm going to create it in the roster page. And I'm going to call this ID equals, well, let's call it roster. Okay. I'm going to create yet another one. I'm going to call this div, what is it? Create character, I guess. Sure. Don't get lost. Get that coffee. Make sure you guys are awake for this. This is important here. Okay, here's another created character here. Blip. All right. And just yeah, you have two HTMLs, one embedded on top of inside another one. I'm not sure if that's like a great idea. But
Did I do that?
I think so. Maybe I cut it off somewhere. I'm not sure. You have let's see. Yeah, I mean it works. Oh, because you don't have the HTML. No, this is fine. Because remember, we are inside another page because we're using a layout page. So it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Not sure how to work that, but yeah,
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
yeah, we're using layouts. It's a kind of a pain in the ass.
It didn't break, so.
Exactly. Yeah, we're using layouts. It's weird. And I'm gonna create another div here. Okay. Sample buttons or something. All right. So, you know what? Let's do a couple of things here. We don't have jQuery. Okay, what time? 4:48. All right. Yeah, we gotta jump on that later. Okay, so anyway, let's see. Input. I'm gonna create a button. Input type. It's gonna be a button. And you know what? So what? Well, the whole point of this was to mess around with JavaScript a bit and see what it can be done. What can you do with JavaScript? Okay, so button, and the way you call JavaScript most of the time is by doing an onClick event. So when you do an onClick event, you say, hey, onClick, do this JavaScript. You can either give a JavaScript function, or you could just type the JavaScript in here on your own if it's short enough. Let's just create a function. And this is good though. This is good right here. Let's call this function pop-up. All right. Don't get it. So this is brand new right here. I don't want to hit you too hard here, but remember how we have different sections of an HTML document, and we talked about head, we talked about all that stuff here. Body. It's a little bit weirder because we're inside a layout, so this is totally fine. Alright, so whenever we do anything with JavaScript, we have to do it inside a script. Well, if it's a function, a script tags. That means whatever you have in here, it does, kind of scripts. You mess around with JavaScript. So we're going to create a function here. We haven't messed around with JavaScript in a while, so don't worry about it too much. But we need to get slide back in there while doing form stuff and model stuff. Oh yeah. So alert, you just push a button. All right. So I'm gonna run this. We don't know if it works. We'll see. Home page. Gotta go to home here. Okay, we just got a whole bunch of new code. So let's see. I'm gonna go to the roster here. Okay. Oh, I guess I really should have given something to the button. The button does not have a value, so I really should give it a value. Pop. All right. All right. So, are you guys with it?
Yep.
So now,
Pop.
if I click on this, what happens or what should happen?
You're gonna deflate it like a balloon.
Let's see. Pop. There you go.
Uh,
So, yeah, so we get a message. That's what this function does. Alert. You get a little pop-up saying, hey, whatever you put in there. So we get like, oh, pop. Yeah, you push the button. Hey.
yeah, we did go over that before, didn't we?
Yeah, we have. It's been a while though. It has been a while. Yeah, so it's pretty cool stuff. So what's the name of this? What do you think? What's the name of this value here?
The field is a
Yeah, the
name?
field. Yeah, the ID of the field. Let's see, where is it? The field is called create character. It's just called name, I think, right?
Yeah. The HTML text box.
Name. Yeah, it's called name. So let's say I created another button here. And I'm going to call it set text box. Right here. And let's create a function that when that happens, let's put a value in that text box when we click that button. I'm not sure if I have jQuery installed, which is what we wanted to get to, but I mean, we could just do it straight through JavaScript, but I don't even know if I want to do that. Well, let me see. Get ID. Yeah, damn it. Let's see. Okay, remember, when you're not sure of something, what do we do? You Google it. Okay, so let's say, what are we looking for? JavaScript set text box value. I'm usually doing in using something called jQuery, so I'm a little bit. It's been a while since I used straight up JavaScript. But when in doubt, where is it? It's right here, my friend. There you go. All right, let's see. You Google the hell out of that. Element ID. Here we go. Yes, get element by ID here. Yeah, I need something a bit easier for you guys here. Hold on. JavaScript set the value of an input field here. There you go. That's what we need here. Blip. Because I don't have a lot of time. We just gotta make it as fast as we can here. All right. What's the name? What's the idea of our of what we get update the value to?
Name.
Name. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, so name. His name like this. Let's go it biggest. Biggest.
Biggest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's set it to biggest dick is right here, right? So the way we interact and manipulate the DOM is by using JavaScript calls and JavaScript functions. Okay. One of these is called getElementById. And the way you use it is by saying document.getElementById. And then you give it the ID of the element. And then you say dot value because you want to, well, you could get it this way, but we're setting it. And then you give it this here. Well, let's see if that works. I don't know. It might not. And this is, we're calling it set text box. Yeah, I think I might be missing something, but it's all good. Okay. And we're going to call this set. All right, so let's do it. I'm going to see what we got here. Okay, so pop still works. So now, let's see, we don't know if this is going to work. So ideally, right, what happens is we tie the function to this button. So when we click it, it's going to call the function. And in that function, we're using something called document getElementById, which gets a handle on this property here, right, on this element. And what we're doing, we're setting the value of that to biggest dickest, and hopefully that works. Since of the time, I don't want to get too much into this because when we start on this in earnest, we're going to do this, but we're also going to do this using jQuery, which is really what you want. But it's very important to go and know it like this as well. Okay, so, well, let's see what happens if I set it. I mean, if I hit set button. Okay, so let's see. Okay, nothing happened. Let's see. Is it giving me any errors? It is not giving me any errors here. Console. Nope. Well, do we have the right name? Yeah, we got ID, name, getElementById, name. Yeah, that is really weird. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting something pretty dumb. But let's see. Yeah, that is really, really weird. I think we're just doing something weird with it. Displayed. Is it does the quotes? No. Yeah, it's fine. Again, don't get too hung up on this. It's just something of how we're using it that is not correct. It's not a big deal. It's one of those bugaboos. But again, it's almost time. So I think we've done enough for today. I don't want to tax you guys too much. But what I want you to know or get from this is that we use JavaScript to mess around and interact with the DOM. And the best way to do this is introduce you to JavaScript and introduce jQuery at the same time, because that's the way we're going to be using JavaScript most of the time. It's a library that makes it easy to use JavaScript and do a lot of cool stuff. Um, so that thing that's good for today. I mean, I'll figure out what this is. This is probably just some stupid call or something. But yeah, I think we're done for now. Any questions on the stuff that we have done so far? Amazing work, Dan, on this. You get 3 out of 3 fist bumps. Um, Dave, not too bad, not too bad. Remember, just don't forget to ask for help if you're stuck anywhere at any time. It is all good.
Alright.
And yeah. So the next thing I want you to do is um, implement a delete button next to each one using the link, like just like edit character. Don't use the button with the form. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Link.
And this is good. This is good. I will not leave any homework right now. I'll let you guys rest your heads because I know you guys been at this for a bit. But we got to move towards the next step, which is implementing more JavaScript, jQuery, and don't forget about the stuff that we've done before. Um, you know, don't forget about the good stuff like classes and entities and all that good stuff. I'm gonna, I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna get latest, I guess, and I'm gonna upload this for to you guys. Is that cool? Because I think there's a couple of fixes in here that we did. And then, let's see. All right, got the latest. Yeah, but now we're all on the same page, so this is good. We could get each other's code and update it and do all the moves. One of you just get the latest and upload it to the cloud. Let's see, which fixes. Or just actually no, don't do that. Do it after you finish your delete function. Upload it to our live website. Right here. Flip. Yeah, then we'll get in. We'll get in there hardcore with JavaScript and handling and jQuery, which is great. I'll set up a little better for it as well. But this is good. This is good. All right, so we are done for today.